wild for the pig.
You betrayed me.
I'll have the GCPD tear you apart.
Hold on! You wanted a war? You got one!
Tonight, Gotham, there are no rules. Do what you want. Kill who you want. You too shall be reborn.
What is up, guys? My name is BobaTalks and welcome to my trailer breakdown for Gotham Season 4 Episode 10 titled Things That Go Boom. Now, what a trailer. As Penguin said, you want a war, you've got a war. But first of all, I want to talk about the synopsis for Jerome 4x11. This is kind of a little bit of a bonus. I was going to wait until Cameron Monaghan released another photo to talk about this, but I may as well chuck this in here whilst I can. Now, I believe the episode after next, which is Episode 11, is the mid-season finale for Gotham until it comes back most likely in January, but it could be episode 12. I'm seeing conflicting things online, but the synopsis does state in the full finale for Gotham. But something very interesting came up in the synopsis for that episode, which I'll read out before I get into this breakdown for the trailer. Things get complicated for Gordon, Sofia, and Penguin when Carmine Falcone comes to town. Alfred tries to get through to Bruce once and for all, while Nigma struggles to gain control over the Riddler persona and Tabitha attempts to make Grundy remember his past. Meanwhile, a familiar smile resurfaces in Gotham. So it looks like if this is indeed the mid-season finale of Gotham episode 11, it looks like we might be left with a cliffhanger that ends with Jerome, which could be picked up in January for a couple of more episodes. Obviously, we don't know how much of an episode arc Jerome has this season, but the main point I'm trying to get across here, Mr. Jerome Valeska seems to be coming back in episode 11, and it kind of all fits with everything that they're filming right now on set. We've already seen that photo of the Jerome chair looking like it's in Arkham Asylum, so I can't wait for this. I just thought I'd check this at the beginning of this video because I know a lot of people are Jerome fanatics. Since this synopsis states that Alfred is still trying to get through to Bruce, I think this might be the thing that breaks him out of his little temper tantrum that he's going through at the minute. Well, rough time, obviously, because he's struggling with a lot. But, you know, if Jerome is back in the city, whether he's escaped Arkham or whatever the heck happens, because it does say that a familiar smile resurfaces in Gotham, then Bruce probably has to cowl up for this one, which could be very interesting. But I'd love to know your thoughts about this, guys. Jerome is returning, as we all know. Probably more photos to come, so be sure to turn that notification button on so you never miss out on a single Jerome video. But ultimately, a familiar smile resurfaces in Gotham in episode 11, just 3 weeks away, I believe, because the next episode of Gotham is 2 weeks away, I'm sorry to say. But let's get into the breakdown of this trailer. So the synopsis for this episode is as follows. Gordon tries to broker a deal with Penguin that involves Sofia. Meanwhile, Alfred tries to pull Bruce out of his teenage angst and downward spiral as Lee Tompkins gains more control over the Narrows. So at the beginning of this trailer, we see Professor Pig as well as Hiram, so I'm really happy to know that Michael Service is still carrying on in Gotham, and I think he will even up to episode 11 and potentially further. Professor Pig is saying the whole town will hog for the pig, and I think what he means is because of what he's been doing, even though obviously a lot of people don't like it, he's been kind of clearing up some of the problems in Gotham. And if you remember, it's kind of similar to when the Jerome cult was around. Lots and lots of people got involved with that absolute chaos that was going on. Even though a lot of people weren't getting involved, so many people rallied to the Jerome cult. And I feel like what's happened with Professor Pig and what he started, I feel like a lot of people are going to be calling out for him to return because he might have set himself up as an icon. And what I mean by that is obviously Professor Pig is a huge villain one day, and he kind of is already, but he's only just setting himself up since Gotham is an origin for the Batman universe that we are familiar with. So I feel like what he's trying to say ultimately is that the whole town, the whole city of Gotham is going to want me back. It looks like Sofia is getting that visit from Penguin and Zsasz because we also hear him say that you betrayed me. Since in the last episode, Oswald forgave Sofia for what she had already done, and he says, don't betray me again, only to find out at the end of the episode, after she said that Jim Gordon means nothing to me, she was seen kissing Jim by Martine, and obviously she lied to him, so that's another betrayal, and you can only imagine how infuriated Penguin must be feeling. But at the same time, what I feel is connected to this storyline, as the synopsis states, Gordon tries to broker a deal with Penguin that involves Sofia, which is a couple of scenes later in this trailer, but I feel like it's all related because obviously Penguin knows that Sofia's betrayed her. She knows that her and Jim are somehow involved, even though Jim's kind of backed off a bit. Obviously, Jim is going to try and work something out for Sofia as well as himself to try and stop this chaos from unfolding, because when Oswald is pissed, I think we all know what happens. But as far as brokering deals with the Penguin, I don't know how far it would go if you said, I'll have the whole GCPD tear you apart. I mean, good work there, Jim. I think that's just going to make the Penguin go even more mad. And the keywords of this synopsis being Gordon tries to broker a deal with Penguin, but I got a feeling he's not going to have any of it. But I feel like everything recently has set up for this massive catalyst that we're going to get before the mid-season finale, because Penguin has now learned that he's been betrayed by Sofia. Penguin has also lost the Sirens, and I feel like he is exploding, because in this trailer as well, not only is there the drama of the whole Sofia betrayal stuff, we see that Zsasz is after the Sirens. We see explosions happening a couple of times. One key one is where Zsasz is basically blowing up Barbara's, or should I say the Sirens' little pad that they've got going with all those weapons there, with an RPG, which is very Zsasz style. He loves his guns. We see another explosion with Selena and this car, so I don't know if this is just more continued storyline of Penguin trying to get rid of the Sirens since they ditched him, and nobody really ditches their service to the Penguin without the penalty of death. But this scene also ties in with that brilliant Oswald scene we get right at the end, because this is all in the same location where he screams, "If you want war, you have got war." And my god, I know I always big up the Penguin, or should I say Robin Lord Taylor, but look at the acting there. He was born to play this role. I honestly couldn't imagine anyone else being the Penguin, whether it's this TV show or in any movie. He is the Penguin, and wow, I just love him so much. That moment at the end of the trailer where he screams, "If you want war, you've got war." Holy shit, it's just brilliant. But it seriously looks like we got the Sirens versus Penguin. This is going to set up for some serious shite to go down, because holy crap, it looks like we got a nuke coming our way with how pissed Barbara looks in this scene here, following most likely their little base being blown up. And then in this scene here, when Oswald is screaming out, "If you want war, you've got war," we see the Sirens standing there, and then we see Penguin and Zsasz and his henchmen firing away, also with the same scene as that car being blown up in the background. Now, is it just me, but is that Martine that the Sirens have there? Are they kind of holding him hostage? We know how sentimental Martine is become to Oswald as of late. But we see Barbara there, we see Selena there, we see Tabitha, the Sirens, but we also see someone slightly smaller there in front of Tabitha. So to me, that kind of resembles Martine, but I can't confirm that. I'd love to know your thoughts on this in the comments below. Is this also something that is triggering Penguin to be so absolutely rage-fueled with that line he gives at the end of this promo? Because not only did the Sirens ditch them, if they have Martine as well, holy crap, that will set him off more than I could ever have comprehended. Now, even though it isn't in this synopsis, but the next episode after this, it says that the Riddler is struggling with, you know, his personality or identity. We see the beginnings of that actually in this episode. We see the Riddler kind of being hallucinated in the background. Now, this isn't the first time we've seen this before, but I don't know why this is necessarily happening, since Nigma wants nothing more than to become the Riddler again. But maybe the reason why this is happening in the episode, and they're trying to put this across in this season, because that part of Riddler is there, but not quite accessible yet. So maybe he's trying to taunt Nigma for being so dumb, for being so stupid, and not this version of himself who keeps tapping in and out of every now and again as a hallucination to taunt him to become the man that he should be, which is in fact that persona standing there in the background as a hallucination. Now, this is where I need your help, guys. I tried to figure out who this is, or maybe my memory is just bad, but I don't know who this guy is. So I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments below. Who is this guy? He looks like he's in some kind of silky, shiny bathrobe kind of thing. It kind of reminds me of what the shaman was wearing last season, the one who was tapping into Bruce's mind. But honestly, I'm not sure if we've seen this guy before. I'll eat my words if we have, and I'll feel like a bit of an idiot, but I can't remember who this is, or if he's a new character. Who do you think he is? Let me know in the comments down below. And lastly, as we see in the trailer and stated in the synopsis, Lee Tompkins gains more power in the Narrows. We see this scene where Nigma and her seem to be at this other place in the Narrows, which seems to be controlled by other people than just Lee. But what interests me is what Lee is holding in her hands. Now, I'm wondering what this could be. What we know is that Lee is now the leader in one part of the Narrows, but we also know that she is trying to help Nigma gain his intelligence back. So maybe this vial could be something that is key to Nigma getting his intelligence back, but I don't know what that could possibly be. I don't think this little vial could be anything to do with like the last remnants of the Alice Tech virus. I could just imagine some comments coming up like that, but you never know. But it probably is something else, but I am so intrigued to know what specifically is in that tiny little corked bottle. But since the synopsis states that Lee Tompkins gains more power in the Narrows, maybe she does actually gain control over these people and they start following her as well. That would be quite an interesting twist. How do I feel about this whole Lee Tompkins Narrows thing? It remains to be seen, because I am not so sure initially how I feel about it, but I don't want to judge it, because maybe her becoming this leader of the Narrows, which is this position that she found herself in kind of by surprise, and now she might embrace it and it might really suit her. So I would love to know what you guys think about this scene. What the heck is in that bottle, and how do you feel about Lee Tompkins gaining even more power in the Narrows? But other than that, guys, that's all I've got to say in this video. So let me know what you thought of the trailer in the comments below, and let me know what you think of that little Jerome tease we got from that synopsis from episode 11, which is around 3 weeks away. And don't forget, guys, the next episode of Gotham isn't airing next week. It is 2 weeks away, so hang on to your hats, folks. But other than that, guys, if you enjoyed this video, let me know by leaving a like on it and sharing it with your friends, as it really does show your support for this channel. And if you're new to this channel, maybe even consider subscribing to stay up to date with more Gotham content and everything comic book and nerdy. If you're already a part of this channel and community, maybe you want to stay a little bit more up to date with me personally. So if you do, you can follow me on social media. The link should be popping up around here or in the description below. Just click on the link there to follow me on the social media of your choice. But other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.